He's in the alley!
Hey, what's your name? Guy, what's your name?
Joey.
Joey. Okay, my name's Daisy. I'm with S.H.I.E.L.D. We're here for your protection.
There's more on the way. First unit's down or wetting themselves. That SUV got... Didn't I tell you?
Just go with it.
We'll be right there with you. It's not like this day can get any crazier, right?
Right?
Rest easy. We're almost there.
We had him pinned down, but the target has escaped.
He didn't escape. He was extracted.
We'll secure the area, clean and contain the situation.
It is getting harder for this to go unnoticed.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be a new Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 video. That clip at the beginning of this is just the first couple minutes of the episode, just giving you an idea that they're going to be hunting down the new Inhumans. Coulson's team to try and help them, the government to try and lock them up. The thing that's missing from this is Ward's team. He's going to be one of the big bads, not the big bad, that's going to be Lash from the comics, but Ward is going to be putting together a team of ex-Hydra agents. Hydra is still kind of a thing in the Marvel Universe. I mean, we're probably going to see some form of them in Captain America Civil War, but Ward spent all of Season 2 saying, I'm not Hydra anymore, but he's also not S.H.I.E.L.D. We also get to see Daisy's new costume. She's got her new gauntlets. She's probably going to be a little bit better with her powers. Remember, it's been a little bit of time since the end of Season 2. Usually they're pretty good about telling you what the timeline is. So it's either going to be like 1 month since the Season 2 finale, or it's going to be like 3 months. Usually the Marvel Universe, between the TV show and the films each year, move in real time. So like whenever Captain America Civil War comes, it'll be like 6 months after today. The new Inhuman she's trying to rescue in this isn't someone straight out of the comics. I think it's an original creation of the show. But it looks like he has the power to break down the molecular bonds between metals. So you can see how that might come in handy, opening locked doors, creating holes in interesting places. The special effects look like they're pretty good. Marvel actually has access to the same type of special effects that they use for movies just because it's all Disney. That's one of the advantages of Marvel being at Disney, is that they just have access to much more technology. It's just a little cheaper for them to get it. They don't have to go out and build that technology themselves. But what's going on here this first half of the season is that Coulson is helping people and at the same time building out his Secret Warriors team. That's who the Caterpillars are, and that's actually something right out of Secret Warriors in the comics. Caterpillars turning into butterflies, obviously. So as these people acclimate to their powers, they'll become butterflies, they'll become Secret Warriors. If you have read Secret Warriors from the comics, they're actually changing quite a bit about that. They're just taking a lot of the ideas from Secret Warriors. They're not going to be doing any specific plot line from the comics. So if you haven't read it, don't worry. It is a lot of fun. It heavily features Daisy Johnson. Really what's at stake the first half of the season is the lives of all these new Inhumans. You have Coulson's team that's trying to help them. You have the government that's trying to lock them up. You have Ward that's trying to corrupt them. And then you have Lash who's trying to cleanse them all. Lash on the TV show will probably be the closest to his comic book arc, which is actually pretty simple. He's a relatively new character in the comics. He shows up when all the new Inhumans show up after the big Terrigen bomb goes off and just tries to kill them all. Taking in the Terrigen mists is a really big deal in the Inhuman society. People have to be selected for it, you have to wait, they're candidates. They have a very rigid caste structure, so Lash gets super pissed when all these fish oil pills start creating new Inhumans like it's no big deal. Some of you have been asking me about the fish oil pills too, like how do they work? Like if you're not an Inhuman, if you don't have Inhuman DNA and you take a fish oil pill, do you get turned to stone like people that touched the Diviner that weren't supposed to last season? The Diviner itself was what was killing people, not the Terrigen crystal. If you touched a Terrigen crystal and you weren't Inhuman, it just wouldn't do anything. So presumably, when all these fish took this in, they filtered out whatever that Diviner additive stuff was in these crystals. So when people take the fish oil pills, if they're not Inhuman, nothing ends up happening. Otherwise, there'd be reports of fish oil pills killing tens of thousands of people all over the place. So it's like the dangerous part of these crystals that ended up getting turned into fish oil pills just got filtered out somewhere along the way. There were a couple other things at the end of the season that they teased that we're going to find out about in the first couple episodes. The most interesting thing obviously is what happened to Simmons, but they might actually hold off on that. She probably just got sucked into the obelisk. It'll probably spit her back out at some point after some big WTF moment. There's a bunch of new toys they were building, like the new bus. And then there's Agent May. Agent May is like somewhere floating around. She might end up crossing paths with Ward a lot. They were teasing that she might end up leaving the S.H.I.E.L.D. team. Not the TV show, just the team. But I think if the show took a while to get going last season, like if it took a while to actually start going somewhere, I think they're actually starting from a much stronger place right now. I think this Secret Warriors versus Inhumans storyline is actually going to be pretty cool. What I really want to find out though is who is giving Lash his orders, or is he just operating by himself? Let me know in the comments, what are you most excited about for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3? Like seeing all the new Inhumans, the way they do the different powers in the show, just seeing Daisy Johnson do crazy stuff, or learning more about how Marvel is going to treat its Inhumans. A lot of the stuff they do on the TV show won't show up in the movies, but it will inform what's going to be happening in the movies. So like the way they treat Inhumans on the TV show is the same way they're going to be treating them in the movies. I know everyone's asking about people from the TV show showing up in Captain America Civil War. Maybe Coulson, maybe Daisy Johnson. I'm not expecting Daisy. But Jeff Loeb and Clark Gregg did tease that Coulson might show up in Netflix's Iron Fist show. The thing about that is that Iron Fist is the last TV series before the Defenders team up, so wouldn't it be awesome if Coulson was the one to put the Defenders together just in the way Nick Fury put the Avengers together? And in real life, Clark Gregg's favorite Marvel character is Danny Rand, so it's just like, please do me a favor, let me be in this TV series because I'm a huge fan in real life. And it just happens to make sense that Coulson would be the one to put this team together. That's another good question. Let me know in the comments, do you want to see Coulson be the one to put the Defenders together, and do you want to see him show up in some of these Netflix series? I would be amazed if anyone said no. And just for fun, Supergirl, Melissa Benoist, is actually on the same studio lot with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people, so they did like that dub smash thing. It got me thinking, who would win in a fight, Daisy Johnson or Supergirl? Just assume that their power levels are where they're at right now on their TV shows. So like, Supergirl has not been using her powers for the last like 10 years or so since she was a little girl. And Daisy Johnson just learning how to use her abilities. She's still mastering them. So I think it'd actually be a pretty even fight. Like, Daisy could pluck her right out of the air because her powers give her a limited form of tactile kinesis, but Supergirl is super strong and super fast, and she can shoot energy beams out of her eyes. So if Daisy Johnson didn't pluck Supergirl out of the air fast enough, Supergirl could just smash her face in. So I think it's really a question of reaction time. If you're confused about the way Daisy Johnson's powers work too, the way they've expressed them on the show is kind of primitive. Her powers go way beyond just shaking things and making things move around. She actually has the power to manipulate the fabric of the universe. It's just that she's not very good at using her powers. She's not that sophisticated with them yet. So I think as she gets better, you'll just see her using her powers in cooler and cooler ways. That would actually be a really awesome promo for CBS and ABC. Just have Supergirl and Quake punch it out. Just air it during sweeps week. Really important, Heroes Reborn starts tonight. I'm going to be doing a video for it, so just come back in a little bit. I should have my video posted later tonight. While you guys wait for that, you can click here to catch up on Vixen from last night, and you can click here for all my other Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Avengers videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.